The Multimedia Research Project is designed to take the global pulse of what is happening in this new field. There's a sense that there are major changes underway in terms of the media economy, the information economy, and people understand that photography, documentary photography, photojournalism fits into that. The question is how. And it's been signified by the idea of multimedia, which itself is an open and slightly contentious term. And we're exploring really who's producing material, how it's being published, who's financing it, who's consuming it, trying to take the global pulse of what's going on. One of the things that really drives this project is that we want to explore a field of emerging practice and new developments and creative things that are happening. And it's been signified by the idea of multimedia. But we don't want to define the term because we don't want to limit things down to a particular genre or a particular style or a particular format. There are too many creative possibilities and we want things to stay open. But it's pretty clear that what we're talking about are things that appear on a digital screen, that might have been produced digitally, that combine both still and moving images, sound, text, infographics in some cases, all to tell a compelling story and provide context for a story. The reason why we're seeing a whole range of developments under this umbrella multimedia, because we're in the midst of a revolution in the media economy and the information economy. The way information is being produced, distributed, circulated and consumed is changing in all realms of culture and society. And although it doesn't play out exactly the same way internationally, it's very much a global change that's impacting everybody everywhere. So this is something that photojournalism, photography, documentary photography has to come to grips with because it's about visual storytelling. And so if the way that information is being produced is changing, then those who want to tell stories visually need to understand those changes and take advantage of them because there are some really exciting creative opportunities for telling new stories, for telling them in different ways, and for reaching different audiences. The research has involved a number of different facets. We've relied extensively on the input of people in the industry, in the field, practitioners. So we had workshops in Amsterdam, New York and Guangzhou in China to draw upon experience in those particular areas. One of the things is, of course, that this is such a new and emerging field. There's not a lot of published, very little published research, so it's actually accessing the experience of people working in the field now that has been probably the major source. Each of the seminars has kind of begun with sort of an overview of what's happening in the media economy and the information economy and some of these global trends about information, how information is being produced and circulated and consumed and so on, because we think these are global trends. They play out in particular ways, in particular environments and so on. And then we've asked people who are representatives of, say, newspapers or television or broadcasts, radio in some circumstances, online news services and so on, to give us examples to draw on their experience. We've really worked hard to have a mix of independent producers, photographers, photojournalists, people in media companies, and we've also wanted to really break out just from photography itself and include people from television, broadcast, film, documentary film, film festivals and so on. Because in essence, we're crossing all these boundaries and we're seeing a lot of these boundaries blurred and in some cases collapse as we kind of get towards new ways of telling stories visually. The aim of the research has been to take the pulse of what's happening globally. And we've really made a big effort in this research to have a global view. It's of course impossible in a project done in this time to absolutely have a comprehensive global view. So we view this research as really as the start of a conversation too. It's something, because the field is changing so dramatically, we want to keep getting input from people, keep getting a sense of what is happening. So this is the beginning, in some sense, of understanding what's happening in this area that we call multimedia.